Hey, welcome back to Snowtasstic. My name is Snow and I'll be your host. This is our part 2 video of our Photoshop from scratch series. And if you haven't watched the part 1, I'm gonna leave a card up here. You can just click on it and then it's gonna redirect you to the part 1. You watch the tools we reviewed before this video. So the tools in the first video, we reviewed the move tool, the marquee tool, and the lasso tool. In this video, we're going to be reviewing the crop tool, the frame tool, and the eyedropper tool. So these 3 tools, like I always say, there's no one way of achieving something in Photoshop. Photoshop gives every individual a diverse opportunity to produce the same thing. So I could use an array of tools. You could use a whole bunch of different tools, but then we could arrive at the same product, at the same piece. Probably have some individual differences, but it's primarily, it just gives you a means of expressing yourself as the artist you are. So that being said, I don't believe that I influence whatever tools you use. So I'm just going through all the tools because there's a bunch of tools in here or in Photoshop that I have not used for my work. Now you might use them. So let's jump into the first tool, the crop tool. So the crop tool looks kind of like that. And the crop tool is what it says it is. It crops your image when you have resizing that you need to do. Sometimes when you take a picture or when you have, it's primarily when you take pictures of like models or scenery and you have distracting backgrounds, or you have a vast, array of items in your background that are not of importance to you. You just want you want the central focus on a specific area or on a specific subject. You can use the crop tool to make or to limit your focus in that art piece. So that's primarily what the crop tool does. Second is the frame tool. In my opinion, I don't really use the frame tool. I think probably dabbled in it once or twice, and it has a feature of making your work look like double exposure. Not necessarily that, but I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So you have a coffee cup, or you have a cup with a substance in it, maybe coffee, maybe tea, and you don't want that tea or that coffee in there. Mind you, we're talking about a photograph. So you have the photograph from like an aerial view looking into your cup. So this frame tool can be used to select that area. You can remove that substance from your cup and then replace it with maybe something like fire. Up to your creativity. You want to replace it with marbles. You have a picture of marbles and you want them in that cup instead of just creating it in the real world. You formulate it. Our third tool for today is going to be the eyedropper tool. So many a time you have instances where you want a color duplicated in your work piece or in your artwork that you're doing. You take a picture of a model or you take a picture of scenery and you want to add text or another or you want to add like let's say a board or text or a shape to your art piece. So the eyedropper tool is just going to duplicate the color of an object in your frame already. So you probably have greens and you want to add a shape to your composition, but then you want the green to match a certain green in your composition. This is where you select that tool and then you use it to mask that, you use it to duplicate that green. So that tool just picks a color and then applies it to something else, or you can apply it to something else that you want to add to your composition, if that makes sense. So these are the 3 tools we're talking about today. It's been quite a short session. I'm glad you're joining me for this, and I can't wait till we jump into Photoshop and start actually creating magical stuff. This is great stuff, and I'm happy you're here. Tell a friend about this. Anyone who wants to learn how to use Photoshop, we're growing together. And well, I guess I'll see you in the next video.